Murli notes, 5th December 2022. Fortune may be positive or negative, prosperity or loss. The civilization of India knows both. This land has been the world of great prosperity and of great poverty. When a home is new, it is called pristine, and when it is old, then it is worn out and decrepit. You can appreciate this, but the rest of the world cannot. Your attention is drawn to this matter because it applies to you personally. From a state of prosperity, all have now gone into hardship and poverty. When and how is prosperity established? That is called the time of heaven. Now it is the time of misfortune. Prosperity is connected to purity. People call out to God to purify the world and to recreate that prosperity. Because the world is completely caught up in vice, there is misfortune and poverty. The more people experience poverty and distress, the more they turn to prostitution and violence as a last resort for survival. However, it pushes them further down into the dark hole of misfortune. Therefore, the most effective way to bring the world out of such poverty and misfortune is to establish a life of purity. Even if a few live in a pure way, it raises up the quality of life for all others. The energy of purity has the power to turn the state of the world around. When people become impoverished, their understanding becomes gross and leads them to increased unintelligent, counterproductive action. There is a game of wealth and poverty, prosperity and suffering going on. People remember God as the remover of distress and giver of happiness. This is the proof that God is never responsible for and never causes distress or hardship to anyone. Since theistic religions declare that God gives punishment and reward, they conclude that God is the cause of prosperity and hardship, and falsely accuse God of being the cause of human suffering. Thus, they create a negative karmic account with God. This intensifies their suffering. There is lack of clarity as to what is the energy of God and what is the energy of karma. Human beings are responsible for their own fortune and misfortune. However, due to being completely ignorant about the philosophy of karma, the identity of God, and the way in which God acts, they are unable to be successful in creating lasting fortune. Instead, they create temporary wealth for the few and great distress for the many. This polarization creates social instability, ultimately leading to social collapse. The nature of time and space is spinning. At first, the spinning is stable and the speed is maintained. Gradually, the energy of the system of the universe slows down and becomes unstable. While the spinning is stable, life is also stable. But as the spinning loses energy, life also loses energy and becomes progressively less sustainable. You have to understand about the spinning of the universe and use your mind to replenish the energy of the spin. For this, you need to draw the energy of God into your being. This task and practice is successful and effective only when the mind and heart are pure. Negative thoughts, feelings, motivations, reactions, etc. interfere with this work. Knowledge of the identical repetition of the cycle makes it possible for you to be neutral in the face of all pairs of opposites, attractions and repulsions, likes and dislikes. All polarities prompt emotional and mental distress and must be viewed from a position of neutrality. Otherwise, you remain caught in the tailspin that takes everything to collapse. If you spin the world cycle, then you cause the reverse to occur, and all things are raised to a harmonious and stable spinning. This is called purity. You have received the third eye. This enables you to perceive flaws of logic in people's religious and cultural beliefs, to distinguish between accurate and inaccurate definitions, and to not accept any tenets or ideologies that do not make sense. It also enables you to discern inaccuracies in the Vedas, and it invalidates their conclusions. God speaks and says, "You cannot arrive at me through the Vedas." You can reach God only when you have completed your searches on the basis of religions, philosophies, and dogmas. That means once you have realized that none of them carry you to a meaningful destination. You also need the knowledge of yoga. Yoga means to withdraw from your body by focused concentration on yourself as a soul, a point of light, and concentrate your heart and mind on the being of God, the Supreme Soul, the point of light in the world of Nirvana. To maintain focused concentration, you have to spin the cycle of time, space, and action, the world cycle. Then the energy of God is drawn into the material world through your soul and is distributed throughout the material world, the elements of matter, nature, and all living beings who dwell in it. Om Shanti.